Hi guys, my name is Samuel Gaido from S Farms Investment. We specialize in drip irrigation systems, training farmers on how to use the systems, and here is my story. I have a background in business. That's where it all started. I did business and entrepreneurship in school, and because agriculture is something that has been in the family, we have done it. My parents have done it for a while, and that was due my interest to get to want to know more about agriculture myself, and being able to interact with many farmers in different areas. I got to see there was need, and the reason why the productivity was not good to most of them was because of the kind of irrigation, I would say irrigation methods that were being used. And that made me want to get to figure out what can be done to improve the productivity of these farmers around. And that's what made me have the interest to want to know more about the irrigation systems. And that's how I found myself in helping and doing the drip irrigation. I personally, having done it on the ground, I saw that there were some technical issues that were being involved. And you know, in any kind of, I'll say business, or when it comes to the agriculture sector, there are some factors that you need to put in to make everything work properly. And now, one of the key areas was with the other types of irrigation methods being used, there were a lot of, I would say, errors and less productivity that were involved, and that made me have the chance to visit farms with the drip system, and I saw the need to have it because being in the business right now for more than 5 years, and having been able to practice myself the different methods of agriculture, I would say I've learned that with drip irrigation, you are able to achieve more than when you use the traditional methods. And that has made me be able to share my knowledge with other farmers. And I'll say my biggest achievement is when I see these other farmers achieve more compared to what they were achieving before getting into the use of drip irrigation. So when a farmer comes to us, the first thing we'll want to know is how the farm is. Do you have water source on the ground? Because water is the first key thing that one must have to do the irrigation systems. So water is the first thing, and the second thing is I'll say security, which is very important, and the source of power, because most people, if you're using the dams or the borehole, you must have a machine to pump the water, and you must have reliable team on the ground as well, because when you come in, we'll put the system for you, but as well we make sure we train you and your staff so that you be able to acquire the needed knowledge for you to do the irrigation properly and achieve the success that you're looking for. In terms of cost in putting up the systems, it varies with different farms. For instance, when one is doing an acre of onions, it will be different from another farmer who is doing an acre of tomatoes, vegetables. So for example, if you're doing onions, a farmer might be spending approximately around 150,000 to 200,000, depending on the area, the topography of the farm, the climate of the area, because climate also matters a lot, because people in hot areas tend to use more water than people in less hot areas, and also the type of crop that the client wants to do. For instance, if a farmer wants to do onions, we'll advise him or her to do a setup whereby a bed has 3 lines. And when you're doing tomatoes, the spacing, because each crop has a spacing difference. So with tomatoes, the client will have 2 lines. But what we usually advise them to do, because most crops, you have to do crop rotation. And with crop rotation, you'll have to do different crops which have different spacing. And so we usually advise them to put a system that will be able to serve all the crops. Like if you have a 3-line bed, that will serve you for onions. When you want to do tomatoes, there's a way we train them on how to lock the middle line, and you still use the other two lines that are suitable for tomatoes. And when you're doing a crop like watermelon, for instance, we'll show you on how to lock a few lines and still use the system to serve you well. In most cases, you'll find a farmer who wants to get into farming but has no idea on how to go about it, doesn't know what crop he or she want to do at that particular time or because of the weather in that area. So we have links and of a number of agronomists. We ensure first we send an agronomist to the site so that he can bring back a report to explain on the type of crop that would perform well in that particular area, and that guides us to know the type of setup we'll do for that particular farmer, because each crop has a different way of setup design. And so also with the soil sampling, the agronomist that is being sent there will guide and assist the farmer on how to get the samples, and that will help any farmer who wants to get into agriculture to understand more on how to go through it in the right way without having technical issues. In my experience with the drip irrigation systems, I would say compared to the traditional ways of doing irrigation, I've come to see that with drip irrigation, labor is completely reduced. Cost of power, I would say, it's reduced as well. And the amount of water is also minimal compared to the one used by people who are using the traditional methods. So for anyone who wants to get into agriculture or farming, I'll say with drip irrigation is the best way to go about it, because you'll see value for your money. So basically at S Farms, it's a one-stop shop whereby you not only get the setup services, we guide you through the agronomists we work with on how to perform well in the sector in terms of crop management, training on how to use the systems, and also we train your staff on how to use the systems as well, so that in case of any technical issue, they are able to solve it and make the crop perform well. Basically, that has been my story. We have been in the business for more than 5 years now, and we have served more than 500 clients from Kenya and the East African region. I'm curious to get to know the challenges farmers are facing so that S Farms investment can come in and be able to assist them to achieve their success when it comes to the agriculture sector. Share your story.
In our next week's feature, we meet a farmer who is benefiting from the use of drip lines which were set up by S Farm Investment. One interesting fact about her is that she comes from the Ma community, who are predominantly pastoralists, but she has chosen to venture into onion farming. We'll find out why. But before then, as usual, remember to hit the subscribe button below for previous features and a new one every week.